tossing and turning because you're flipping like a pancake because you are conflicted. But it's our society and our community that has you conflicted.
Well, there is somebody on the panel that was inspired by you. Can you give him that mic? Can you tell me what your inspiration was?
Earlier you asked me about when did I know, and was, you asked me when did I know that I was gay, and about me accepting myself. Well, I also am a cosmetologist, just like DeRay, and this entire panel is my family. I'm 42 years old. I'll be 43 in October. I am a Libra as well, but I've known DeRay before I've known anybody, and I can remember you asked me about acceptance, and I can remember being in the 8th grade, and they take you from the middle school to the high school because you're gonna go to the career center. And I can remember, everybody knew that, okay, you could tell me I was gay because I didn't know what that was. I knew I liked to do hair, but I remember going into the classroom and walking in and seeing DeRay. And everybody saying to me, ooh, look at Tommy. That's how Tommy gonna be. And I didn't understand it. I looked at DeRay and it was nothing I had ever seen before. And it was intriguing, but it was also embarrassing because I didn't understand the place that she was at that time. She was at a place of, like she said earlier, she was in the 8th grade and she knew after that it stopped. There was not going to be any bullying anymore. And I was not at that point yet. I was not able to stand up and say that this is who I am and say it proud and loud. And this is where she was. And this is who she was. And I didn't understand that she was just being herself and being proud of it. And everybody really loved it. So moving on further in life, I'm going to show you how DeRay has really been a motivation and an icon to me. And I don't use that word lightly. I said icon. Because, this is a very hard life to live. And she showed me so many things with the hair profession, because I was a female impersonator for a very long time. Just in life, she showed me so many things. And I just want her to know that, it was because of you that I saw acceptance in myself. It was because of you that I saw acceptance in myself. And I mean, there were even times where I could remember just, seeing you and saying, oh my God, please don't let her come talk to me. High school games, and she was a cheerleader, and I later became a cheerleader. And I saw that, okay, well, you know what? It's not so bad, and then I saw a pattern. I saw, you were a role model to me. And there were a lot of people who came along, and I don't know if I ever told you that, but I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for showing me who I could be. Thank you.
All right.
That's good stuff. You want to respond to that?
Yeah. In life, you never know who's watching you, even at an early age. And I never did most of the things I did without thinking. Well, I didn't do the thinking of other people. I did what I thought was best for me. I did what was working for me because of the family that accepted me and loved me. Like I said, I was raised by a village. The one thing that they said is that I could be as you can be as gay as you want, but you're going to be a success. And they drove that home. Like, all my friends were dropping out of high school, they were prostitutes and drug addicts. That's what I grew up with, and I'm honest about that. And they were stunt queens too. So that could have been my life. But my mother threatened to kill me. She said, if I ever see you walking up and down to Mount Road, I will run you over. And a later story came out. She thought this girl was me. She ran into the graveyard, and when the girl turned around, it wasn't me. And she's like, oh, sorry, and backed out. That's my mom. True story. My grandmother told me if I ever got on drugs that she would, even after she was gone, dead and gone, if I got on drugs, she would haunt me. So I've always been scared to inspire you, or you were watching me at a time when I didn't know you were watching, lets me know that maybe that's my purpose in life, to be the martyr, to be the beacon, to be hope for anyone that says, well, this is an example. And you see it, or there was something that connected these people to me. And throughout my life, now that I'm older, I do a lot of the things I do with the thought of who is watching me, who I may affect, who I may inspire, or who I may give hope because of whatever they're dealing with. So now I'm very cognizant of how I carry myself. There's a certain way that I want to be, not even perceived. I live my authentic truth. Now, don't get it twisted. I live a comfortable life. But I'm me. I don't sugarcoat stuff, you know. I'm not always politically correct. Do I know the proper pronouns and nouns and subject and verbs? Of course I do. But if you catch me just wrong, all gloves are off. It is what it is. But to inspire you, to show you what you could be, then maybe that was my purpose in life as it is now. As I spoke to you earlier about the young transgender girls, now that they look up to me, I realize that it's bigger than me because I stood on somebody's shoulders and these babies are standing on my shoulders. And then somebody's going to come on and stand on their shoulders.
Amen for that. I want to say, are we still live?
Yes.
I want to.
Let me touch on that. I also would like to thank DeRay, because when I first met DeRay, and she asked me about being her child, and one of our good girlfriends that's gone on told me, said, well, Contessa, you are privileged because DeRay don't have no girls for her children. So she inspired me that way, and you know, I look up to her and stuff like that. You know, my health ain't good for me to be jumping around on the stage like she does. Whenever I do get a chance, I do go down to the comedy house and give her homage and all that good stuff. Thank you.
Can you move that out the way so she can get you online? My best side. Okay. I want to say to you, Ms. DeRay, you have been an inspiration. I got more knowledge, and you've been very transparent. This show is about transparency. You've been very transparent. But I want to ask you a question. Do you wake up like this?
No.
I'm sorry, no. When you say wake up like this, the reason I'm so painted, when I leave here, I have to go entertain at a birthday party. And after I entertain at the birthday party, I have to go do another show at another club. So this is me getting ready for the stage.
Because my mama don't wake up like this, because you're very beautiful.
I'm blessed. My beauty, I would hope, permeates from inside. This is makeup and hair. You can buy that, you can put it on, you can take it off. But my inner beauty is more important to me. I tell people all the time, I've always thought my beauty was a curse. Because men, for all my life, told me I was beautiful. When I became completely secure in who I was, women have always told me I've been beautiful. Kids today, and I'm scared of kids, gay folks and trans women, we scared of children. Because they're honest, and they'll call you out. They'll get you through.
They'll tell you the truth.
They'll
Make you
say,
sad.
yeah, they'll get you. But even children are like, oh, mommy, she's so pretty. And I'm like, Lord Jesus, if they get degrees, it's going to be a mess. But the physical beauty, of course, it can be bought. And I didn't do a whole lot physically. I did some augmentation, of course. But my spirit of who I am allows me to wake up like this. So you're seeing the outer, but it's more so my inner thing. And like I said, for you to be a heterosexual male, and a lot of straight men are like, you know, I don't fool around, but you're really like, and that's humbling. And it's more humbling where you don't understand. It's humbling because that shows that you're confident
Right.
in who you are as a man.
Right.
And with that being said,
Listen, I'm confident enough because I'm having a baby boy. Hello.
right. So
Hello. I'm
for you to be comfortable in your sexuality, to be like, you're really beautiful. It's humbling.
Right.
You'll never know how humbling that is. And thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Y'all give it up. I'm going to excuse you, but does anybody have any questions
I have a
for?
question for Mr. Ray. Mr. Ray, what would your advice be to the younger generation that's not sure right now, they're scared to come out and be like mom, dad, grandma? I'm sorry, hello, okay. That there's the younger generation that's scared to come out and be who they are. They want to hide from society because it's so hard. What would your advice be to them? What would you tell them if you could? Those watching, what would you say to the people watching, those younger kids?
This is not an easy lifestyle, first and foremost. No one would choose to be killed, murdered, ostracized from your family, discriminated against. No one would choose that. That's number one. No one's going to choose that. So my advice to my younger children, get a true sense of self before you are transparent to anyone else. Make sure that you are secure in who you are. Do not put a label on yourself. Do not come out to anybody or anyone until you know without a shadow of a doubt who you are. And when you can walk comfortably and wake up and go to bed at night and be like, you know what, this is me. It is only then that you should disclose to the people that mean the most to you. But it is your right and it is your choice to live who you are. But be sure, because a lot of things cannot be undone. I didn't transition to my mid-20s because I had to make sure, because some of this stuff can't come out. This is it. I'm stuck with it. And the biggest thing is, but my grandmother, she was waiting. She said, well, I've known. I was just waiting for you to tell. And so to the children, your mother and father know, whoever is your caregiver, they know. They could be in denial, but they know. That's it. They know. Say what you want. My mother, I thought she was in denial. My mother was afraid. She was afraid I'd be killed. She was afraid I'd commit suicide. She was afraid that someone would harm me. So she protected me like pit bulls protect their babies. She was, even to this day, she still worries. But I now understand it. I didn't understand her parenting then, but I get it now. That's why I'm hard on my kids, because I had people that were hard on me and they were driven to me to be successful. And that's the last key and part of this. To the youngsters, get a strong foundation. Get your education. The clubs, the bars, the drinking, the drugs, all of that. I pray you don't go through that, but get your education. Make sure that you are armed to take on society. Because with an education, they can't do so much to you. They may be able to discriminate, but with degrees behind you, with a trade skill, you're able to function successfully in society. Those are the things that are most important. But don't label yourself until you know, without a shadow of a doubt, this is me.
One more question?
Yes, I have two questions. I first want to lead and just say you are a beautiful woman. And I mean, I don't label people. I'm a straight woman, but from a straight woman, I consider you a woman. So I just want to first give you that. You are a great example, not only to LGBT community, but to a woman in general and how you carry yourself. I just want to ask, who taught you to be so ladylike and classy? Because even as a straight woman,
I want to say, you act more straight as a classy
no,
woman
even
than most
as
women
a
that I know.
straight, even as a straight woman, you carry yourself better than some birth women. So I just want to find out who was your foundation, who taught you to be such a woman, such a classy lady. I really want to know. I'm curious.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
And the men and the women were middle class, not upper middle class, just middle class. But they were ladies and they were gentlemen. My great-grandmother, my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my grandmother, my mother, my godmom. I had men and women on both sides. The men didn't wear sneakers other than cutting the grass. They got dressed every day. They woke up and got dressed. The women did not come out the house without their hair done. Before we had Korean beauty supplies, Korean nail shops, I remember them pedicuring and manicuring their nails every Saturday. They would bathe me, and then I would see them get in the tub and they would scrub their feet with the bars, and they would paint their nails and toes. My great-grandmother, she got her hair done every Saturday and took her wig to get done with her hair. So when her hair fell, Nana put on her wig. My mother worked at a call center before call centers were that. She worked at Southern Bell. So my mother was in a dress and heels or pants and heels every day of my life almost. So that's all I knew. They didn't tell me, but that's all I knew. And it's always humbling, again, in my travels, so many of my gay community members and peers that I do shows with, they always say to me, "You're such a class act," and I don't know. I don't know, how do you say? It's not something that I was practicing or trying to be. That's just what it is. And to come from, heterosexual women, they're like, "You're such a ladylike." Oh, you so ladylike. And that's not, again, something I was trying. I just knew, because the world, a lot of times, is not going to understand. But I had to be the best me that I could be. When I was a little gay boy, being a cheerleader, I always dressed well, I carried myself well. Now, I'd fight at the drop of a dime. I'm being honest. I carried a razor, a pair of scissors, and a knife while I was in cosmetology school every day in my pockets. I wasn't having it. But I always just knew I wasn't going to be the ratchet ghetto one, because I didn't come from that. They weren't having that. You talk to people with respect. You talk to people where you want to be talked to. So in my transition, when I was talking to the psychiatrist and undergoing the hormone replacement therapy, the one piece of advice the therapist said: find a woman that you look the most like, that you favor, and she said, pattern yourself after that. And so I knew that there was a certain perception in life that no matter, when I would go to straight bars or wherever I went, even if they realized I was transgender, they were never going to say that I was a mess, or that I was tacky, or that I was all, as you said, too much, or flamboyant. And my flamboyant would be my hair, because I like long hair, like you. There was a time that when I was wearing weaves, Tommy would come and roll and set my hair once a week on Sundays, and have my hair set for the week because I wore long hair. And I just knew that if I'm gonna be out here and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this.
You'll be right. Yeah. Well, I just want to say your confidence is attractive to not just LGBT, but to all women. And my second part is, being that you are such a confident woman, and you did say you were actively dating, what is your type? Because they tend to think because you're transgender that you don't have a type, and you're a woman at the end of the day. Like, you're discreet, you have your specific details that you're looking for. You're not just going to settle for any old thing. So I'm just curious.
I'm just trying to get a job. Because you
I'm
doing that.
Okay. I'm attracted to a male's his confidence. The way he carries himself, first and foremost. There was a time that I would only date men his complexion or darker. They had to be blue-black, and built like a Mandingo warrior, like Wakanda. That was Wakanda warriors. That was what I normally went for in my teens and my 20s. Well, you live life, and I learned to like who likes me. So physically, he does not. I'm not opposed to a slender man. I do prefer a man with little meat on the bones, because I'm thick. So I tend to prefer a guy taller than me, but if he's not taller than me, because I'm always going to be in heels unless I'm traveling. I like a man that has a stature about him. He can be short, thick, but he's got to have that. You know he's a man. Be he gay, be he bisexual, be he straight. You know without a shadow of a doubt that he is a man. Personality-wise, confident, employed, nice credit, his own stuff, car, house, his own money. Those things, you know, just. and you know, we can sort the rest out. You know, when I say dating, a lot of times men are taking me out. Of course, they pay the bill. I paid the bill because my thing is I need to know what your personality is like. Because I don't care how much money you got. If you are horrible, I ain't gonna fool with you no way.
Y'all give it up. We're gonna come back in about 3 minutes. We're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna talk about a little bit on relationships. And DJ, keep the music. Y'all give Miss Del Rey